Hello and welcome to Class 3 of SPCM 4397, Effective Meeting Management. You will recall that in our last class we were talking about organizations, how organizations are systems, and what those characteristics of systems are. Anybody remember? You got your notes tucked away? Okay, well, we said, for example, that an organization is characterized by wholeness. What did we mean? If I give you tag words, maybe you'll remember. Nicole?
It's also characterized by hierarchy.
Okay, they're characterized by hierarchy, and what does that mean? Go ahead.
That there's different levels of power within it.
Okay. In many organizations, you will, you'll be able to acquire an organizational chart that lets you know who's the president, how many vice presidents, are there senior vice presidents, are there executive vice presidents, and so forth. Is there a general manager and an owner and a president, or what kind of combinations of those? But you need to know whether it's an organization that you're a member of or whether it's an organization that you are planning for, who's in charge of what. And one of the ways that you know that is to take a look at the organizational chart. And if the group is big enough, you know, it's a hospital in the Texas Medical Center, it's the University of Houston, they actually publish those organizational charts so that the members of the organization as well as others can keep track of who's in charge of what and how many of which kind of thing they have, and so on. Smaller organizations probably don't publish those. You just kind of know there's a president, two vice presidents, some secretaries, and then maybe the gopher employees that work on a day-to-day basis. Okay, wholeness says that the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. Okay, that when you put all of that together, you get something special and unique. When you put catering and sales and the front desk, and I'll stop on that example because I'm going to ask you about that in a minute. Okay, what else did we say were characteristics of systems? Wholeness, hierarchy?
Equilibrium?
Yeah. Equilibrium, what does that mean?
I don't know.
You don't know, but at least you wrote the right word down. That's good. Yes, sir?
Proper balance.
Okay, you need some balance in there. It wouldn't do any good to have all sales if you had nobody to clean the rooms and implement the services and so forth. Okay, what were those other characteristics? Okay?
Equifinality,
Okay.
which is more than one way to achieve a goal.
Okay, typical of systems, whether it's our human system or an organization, is equifinality. There's more than one way to reach a given end state. And meeting planners run into that a lot. If the hotel that's your first choice isn't available, then you pick a different one. If those accommodations won't work, can you rearrange your agenda? Can you change your game plan in order to make your schedule mesh with the services of the hotel and so forth? Okay, what else? Yes?
Interdependence, and that means that all parts affect one another.
Okay. If one part of the system has a problem, if there's a fire in the kitchen and food services go down for a while, the ventilation system gets polluted, okay, that's going to have rippling effects. You have cranky people working the front desk, that's going to eventually ripple throughout your system. Okay, what else? Okay.
Adaptability.
Okay, adaptability, and that means?
Meaning that the system can adapt to certain situations.
Okay, the system that survives is generally the system that can roll with the punches, go with the flow, figure out. It kind of ties into equifinality, finding different ways to get a desired outcome accomplished. Okay. If we take a look at this visual, some of this I've alluded to already. How is a hotel a system? Elaborate on that for me a little bit more. I've alluded to fires in the kitchen having rippling effects. Yes, sir.
Hotel being a system is People are greeted as they come in. That's part of the system. Your bellhops, they provide that essential service of getting your guests accommodated and in quickly so they can go enjoy your facilities. You've got the food and beverage people, which almost immediately upon a guest checking into the hotel is going to immediately put them to use. You've got your cleaning staff, which the next morning functions the hotel. When these people check out, these rooms have got to be available by a certain hour for your incoming guests. You've got your front desk cashiers, which got to get the money quickly and get them out. And
You an HRM major?
not at all.
Okay.
No, I'm a criminal justice major, but I didn't know when I walked into this class I was going to have to do with hotels. I worked at resorts.
Okay,
I
good.
managed a resort in Puerto Rico for 11 years, so
Good.
it's falling in perfectly.
Yeah, well,
for me.
because this is a great example.
And then the
Very
problem that you may have also, which I don't think you touched on, was unions. If you have union problems, there's your real problem.
Okay, yeah, and they're an outside, the last factor that we left off was what? That we talked about last time? Exchange with the environment. Okay, and the union is kind of in between. The employees are part of the union and they're in the property, on the property, in the system, but then they're centered in the environment as well. Go ahead.
In strike, I ended up having to cook, serve bar, change the sheets, carry bags, check people in and check people out. The union almost crippled us.
Okay. Yeah, and I've known people that have worked for the railroad, and when the railroad goes on strike, the union calls a strike, you may have salesmen out there throwing the switches on the tracks. So anytime there's a strike on, stay away from the trains. I think they still have to have certified engineers driving them, but I know some people that have ridden on the caboose, and gee. Okay, well, we want to, folks, we're going to see some videos today. I've been promising those. The day has finally come, and we're going to see one in just a minute. But I want you to be thinking about this example that you've just heard and how the hotel is a system. We talked the last couple of classes too about committee meetings and board meetings, and so be thinking also about how, I put the question up here, how is the board of directors a system? We'll get to that more as we look at bylaws later on in the semester and talk about small organizations. And then think about the importance of information transportation within the organization. We're going to be distinguishing probably later today or next class about absolute and distributed information. There's all this information within an organization. Some of it flows where it's supposed to go. Some of it never gets there. We'll talk about why as we get back to that. But we're going to see some examples of information dissemination. The first tape that we're going to see is just a little 5-minute tape provided by the Houston Convention Bureau, and we thank them. That tape is designed to promote Houston. And before we look at it, I want you to think about what you think of as you think of major cities. If I say New York City, and don't answer me yet. Well, we're going to do this comparatively in a minute. But think about, when you think of New York, what do you think of? San Francisco, what comes to mind? Los Angeles, my images of these places are very different. Chicago, Houston, how many of you have been to Dallas? Okay, good. I assumed you'd been there. So today we're going to look at a short tape on Houston because that's all I have at this point, and then we have a longer tape on Dallas that will do some comparative hotel properties. Up there it's just a more detailed tape. But I want you to think about whether these tapes reflect what you perceive to be the image of the city. If it were your job to be the marketing person, would you redo the tape? If somebody said, here's a budget, make us a new tape. Is this the Houston that you see? Is this the Dallas that you perceived when you were there? And would you want to go to these places? Would you want to take a convention to these cities based on what you see in the tape compared to what your own experiences have shown you and so forth? So, okay, Charles, if you're ready back there, we will take a look at the first tape on Houston.
cowboys to cappuccino, boots and Stetsons to Gucci and Dior, Houston is becoming world-renowned as one of the most popular cities in the United States. And it's no wonder. Houston offers something special for both residents and visitors.
We always knew that we wanted to come back to Houston, Texas. We've lived here for many, many years. We've watched our children grow up here. Don't expect to see a lot of tumbleweeds or cactus as you go down the main streets, but you will see some wonderful parks. We've done a good job on our parks in this city.
It's that green tree-lined atmosphere that often surprises visitors to Houston. But the surprises don't end there. Houstonians have worked hard to create countless reasons why the city is so special. Visitors can enjoy the unusual array of attractions, from an amusement park that can take your breath away to the most visited zoo in this region. Houston is also home to NASA and the Johnson Space Center, a butterfly habitat, a first-class horse racing track, a tropical rainforest, and much more. Year-round festivals salute Houston's rich cultural diversity and international flavor.
It's an ethnic and cultural mix. We have something untold there that 90 languages are spoken. Some say I have trouble speaking English.
Visitors looking for the genuine Texas adventure can enjoy the world's largest rodeo in February, or a visit to nearby ranches that offer everything from hayrides to hoedowns. Houston is a shopper's paradise. You'll find everything in the real Texas, with the world-famous Galleria that sports all the high-end boutiques, or factory outlets and antique villages that boast all the best bargains.
Well, the shopping is very dangerous because it's so vast, the choices.
Houston may well be the restaurant capital of the South, with more than 6,000 restaurants to choose from. And after a full day of seeing the sights and sampling the fare, indulge in the city's fast-paced nightlife.
We're the only, or one of the few cities in the country that have permanent companies in all four arts: the symphony, the ballet, the opera, grand opera, and theater.
Got great museums, not only adult museums, but we have marvelous children's museums.
If action-packed sports are more your style, Houston's got that too. In fact, professional sports in Houston are like a way of life.
Come to Houston. It's a great sports town. Home of the Oilers, the Astros, and of course the Rockets. We have Akeem Olajuwon here.
And we have Scott Brooks.
Sports enthusiasts can also enjoy the fruits of the Gulf Coast country. Water sports are exceptional on nearby Clear Lake and Galveston Island. While you're in Clear Lake, cruise from Earth to outer space with a tour of Space Center Houston. Or bet on the dogs at Gulf Greyhound Park.
And of course, when you're in Houston, don't miss Galveston, which is this wonderful island that just has the most beautiful beaches.
Galveston features some of the most ornate Victorian architecture in the state, and the amazing 10-story glass pyramid that houses the rainforest at Moody Gardens. The successful business atmosphere and the unique visitor attractions also make Houston an ideal location for conventions. With nearly 1,800 airline flights into Houston a day, almost 2 million square feet of meeting and exhibition space, and versatile citywide ground transportation, Houston can accommodate any convention. Facilities like the George R. Brown Convention Center, Astrodome USA, and numerous hotel spaces offer endless meeting options.
It's a good place to have conventions. I think people, large ones and small ones. Of course, I was pleased with the Republican Convention, which is one of the major national conventions, came here, and everyone was satisfied. I think it's Houston's spirit. It's the real Texas.
Y'all come see us in Houston, the real Texas.
Well, what do you think? Okay.
Beginning with President Bush, it gives the city an air of credibility, responsibility. Mrs. Bush gives it an air of formality. NASA obviously speaks for itself. The Dome in Moody Gardens, rodeo. I think this video takes away the concept that most people not from Texas think of this as a redneck capital with people driving around in trucks with beer bottles in their back pockets. The Rockets having won 2 world championships brings prestige. Hakeem, being a U of H graduate, brings prestige to this institution. All in all, I don't see what they missed. They did manage to avoid dealing with homicide, poverty, crime, sickness,
There were no
and outrageous heat and humidity, which I would have left out of my video had you given me the budget. I would have left those 5 factors.
Okay, I think they did a good job in 5.5 minutes of covering many, many things. Okay, have you personally thought about what the strong points of this city are? You know, and I would think that many of these things are what you would think. Yes, ma'am.
I think the cultural diversity of the city is one of the strong points. You don't see many cities where you have so many different ethnic groups together.
I think she's right, and the video kind of missed out on that a little bit. There's a whole lot more cultural diversity than any other city, and well, through my experience, any other city in Texas, and quite possibly the Southeast.
Okay, it's captured just a tiny bit through the restaurants. There's a kind of inherent assumption that if you've got all these different languages that they mentioned, and I missed the number on the restaurants, but if you're going to go everywhere from French to Indian to Chinese to Cajun, there are probably some people from those ethnic groups that are cooking that food. That's not always true.
Video made specifically for a tourist, or assume arguendo with me, if I was going to relocate my factory and my corporate headquarters to Houston, why is there nothing about housing and education, which are the 2 biggest factors, which my executives would be asking me, why are we going to
I think it's more the former. It is produced by the Houston Convention Bureau, and so it's designed to generate convention traffic. But yeah, there are certainly other important considerations if you're trying to get a major company to relocate. Okay, one of the things they mentioned that I found true of groups that I've worked with here is the green element. People up north forget that so many trees stay green year-round down here. If you've traveled much out of this region, you know, about halfway between here and Dallas, everything freezes down for the winter. And it's a nice thing to come home to. You know, there are trees again. And yes, sir.
Bush has personally said he goes to Kennebunkport in the summer because he can't deal with the intense heat and humidity here. And he will come back about September or October as it starts to cool off in Kennebunkport, Maine, and then call Houston his home. So he has 2 residences, but he says the heat and humidity here is unbearable.
Right. And one of the things you need to make clear in meeting management is that this is probably the best air-conditioned city in the world. And as far as conventions go, you know, it's a little inconvenient getting them from the airport into the limousine or the bus or whatever and transported to Galleria, Summit area, wherever you're going. But once they're on site, unless they choose to go elsewhere, and if you're in the Galleria type area, you know, you can stay air conditioned the whole week. You know, there were some nonverbal cues out here on the Galveston part.
The filthiest place I've ever seen in my entire existence. If you've ever been to a beach in Florida or California, there's just no comparison. It appears that when you flush, it goes downward towards Galveston. I've lived here 16 years. I'm not going in that water.
You're going out over 33 counties here. You know, we don't want the
to be at all 33 have the same pipe
coming after you. There's a San Luis Hotel in Galveston up on the west end of the island. I've seen some lovely conventions there. The Galvez has done, and is the flagship that's out on the piers. There's some real nice possibilities down there, but then there are also public beaches that are less than desirable. And it's a relative thing. If you compare Galveston to West Texas, which has no water, that beach looks great. But if you've lived in California or Florida, then it may not be all that you'd hoped for. Okay, I want you to think for a minute about the concept of proxemics before we look at the next tape. Next tape is about half an hour long, so you can kind of kick back, but you may want to make some notes on it as well. Those of you that have had speech communication classes before may be familiar with the term proxemics, but this is the term that we use to refer to the study of how space affects communication. And in this next tape, which is much longer, as I just indicated, we're going to tour some hotels, and I want you to think about the relative merits of those properties. They're all excellent properties. I could be happy conventioning at length in any of them. But think about the atmosphere, think about the space that you see. There's what we call fixed feature space, the things like the walls, the ceiling, tables that are built into the floor. Some of your classrooms have desks that are bolted down to the floor. Those are all fixed feature kinds of items. There are also items that fall into what we call semi-fixed feature space. This equipment, the tables and chairs that the studio class is currently using, tend to stay in place, but they could be rearranged. Most of you, the furniture in your house or your apartment, you tend to leave it, maybe once a year or something, you get on a kick and you go around and rearrange things. But semi-fixed tends to stay put, but it could be rearranged if need be. And then there's informal space, intimate in the 0 to 18 inches. Obviously, you have to be close if you want to kiss or hug or whatever. Personal space, 1.5 to 4 feet. That's within touching range, within arm's length for most people. Social space, where we find most of our social events, which is why that word is chosen, a range of about 4 feet to 12 feet. And in your meeting management planning, there will be a number of events that involve social activities. So as you look at these hotels, as you look at atriums or meeting rooms or whatever, think about what kinds of space, what kinds of facilities have the space to make possible different kinds of events. Where would you hold social mixers, public space beyond 12 feet? Where would you put your people if you had a keynote speaker coming into an audience of 1,000? Is there a place to do that? Really be conscious of the space. What kind of areas could you pack a lot of people into? What kind of areas would require more dispersion of the people? Just what kind of choices would you make as you look at those? Any question about this concept? Okay, be thinking also about what kind of choices you might make if you were to take a convention to Dallas based on the information that you receive in the next tape. Be aware also of the factors that go into large meeting planning. You're going to see some material from rental car agencies, information on the airports, information on Dallas per se, much like you just saw in Houston. The Houston tape was designed to bring you to the city, but not really to promote specific properties. The tape that we're going to see next is provided to us compliments of an organization called Audiovisual Presentations. Well, they're out of Fort Worth, Texas, and they've done a series called Where America Meets. Later on in the semester, we'll see a tape on Scottsdale, Arizona, and one on Hawaii, but we're starting with Texas since it probably can't compete with Hawaii, but the airfares are much lower. Okay, but be thinking about things like the properties, the airfares, the ground transportation. How difficult or easy is it to get people to this location? Can the facility handle the people? And that's all contingent on what your group is and what they need to do. But Where America Meets is billed as a video magazine exclusively for meeting planners. And so we are appreciative to AV Productions in Fort Worth for allowing us to use this tape. Okay, let's find out about Dallas.
Welcome to Where America Meets, the video magazine specifically designed with the meeting planner in mind. In this issue of Where America Meets, we take you to a city of contrast, Southern hospitality, and cosmopolitan glamour, Dallas, Texas. A quick look at geography and transportation systems reveals that Dallas simply can't be beat when it comes to moving your group around this area. As a meeting destination, Dallas is ideally located midway between the East Coast, West Coast, and the Midwest. This central positioning results in no more than 3.5 hours flying time from most cities in the U.S. One of the largest and most efficient international airports in the world, and one of the best in-city regional airports in the country, serve Dallas with 2,100 flights daily. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is the world's second busiest airport and a hub for several major airlines. In this case, busy doesn't mean congested. DFW is also one of the most convenient airports in the world, consistently holding the lowest delay rates in the country. An extensive on-site transportation system makes getting through the airport a breeze. The central business district of Dallas is only 20 minutes away. Dallas Love Field Airport is served commercially by Southwest Airlines, connecting Dallas with destinations throughout Texas and its adjoining states. Love Field is located within the city limits and only a couple of minutes from downtown Dallas. Both airports are served by an army of ground transportation operators that will help you get to your hotel or other locations. And there's even a couple of additional choices for moving around downtown Dallas. As the nation's largest inland city, Dallas offers an attractive international cosmopolitan flair that has helped to make it a leading destination for conventions and meetings. Planners are in for a treat when organizing an event in Dallas. Meeting facilities are plentiful and offer an unusually wide variety of high-quality venues. Located in the heart of the central business district, the Dallas Convention Center is without a doubt one of the largest and most versatile convention complexes in the nation. Recognized as the best-run convention center in America, this Dallas facility offers more than 2 million square feet of flexible space. Approximately 800,000 square feet is dedicated to exhibit space. There's more than 530,000 square feet of prime, contiguous, same-level space that's divisible into 5 separate halls. Designed to meet virtually any need, the Dallas Convention Center also features over 200,000 square feet of quality meeting space. It's been the home of the annual State Fair of Texas since 1886. Fair Park is Dallas' largest cultural center and national historic treasure. Just 5 minutes southeast of downtown, with 277 acres of museums, exhibit facilities, and meeting venues, Fair Park offers an artistic and cultural alternative for your group. Music for the eyes. One of the world's premier acoustically superior concert halls, the Morton H. Meyerson Symphony Center, is located in the center of the Dallas Arts District. At the Morton Meyerson Symphony Center, you can find a feast for your eyes as well as a feast for your dinner function. Dallas has more than 40,000 first-class hotel rooms and more 4-dime and AAA hotels than any other city in the world. This Texas city stands ready to fill your convention and meeting accommodations with style, class, and high professional standards. Deep in the heart of Texas stands a hotel of grand beauty and ultimate sophistication, a hotel that in every respect is unmatched in its class. Lowe's Anatole Hotel, the largest convention resort hotel in America's Southwest. Large enough to dominate the skyline of downtown Dallas, just 2 miles away. And large enough to offer the meeting planner more group possibilities, services, and diversions than any other convention hotel ever built. Just minutes from DFW International Airport sits this 50-acre meeting site where specifics are nothing less than startling. But perhaps the most remarkable measure of this hotel is its meeting, function, and trade show space. Over 240,000 square feet, which is more than some major cities provide. Lowe's Anatole presents unparalleled opportunities for groups from 5 to 5,000. Throughout the hotel are 60 separate and superb meeting capabilities, ranging from corporate-style boardrooms to major meeting facilities. Enhancing the beauty of these facilities is one of the most impressive collections of art and antiques ever assembled for an American hotel. Lowe's Anatole has a total ballroom space of 81,000 square feet, consisting of 5 major facilities. One of the largest ballrooms in all of Texas, the 28,400 square foot Chantilly Ballroom offers a chandeliered expanse capable of accommodating 2,600 banquet style or 3,300 theater style. The Grand Ballroom covers 17,400 square feet and provides
These are
accommodations
numbers
for
that you may
1,600
need to
banquet
remember
style
or pay
2,000
attention to
for
as you're
receptions.
planning your own event for later in the semester.
The third major facility, the Comm Pavilion, features 16,400 square feet and is capable of housing 1,500 for banquets and 1,885 for receptions.
And
For
see how
smaller
those
functions,
numbers change
the lovely
depending on the
Wedgwood Room
function.
may be the choice. Or opening onto the Anatole Park is the Peacock Terrace, a magnificent banquet facility. A covered walkway links the hotel's huge ballroom complex with the exhibit facility, Trinity Hall. The hall itself offers 73,000 square feet of usable space, sufficient for 380 booths. Unique to Lowe's Anatole is an opportunity to choose among 6 permanent theaters and auditoriums. Capacities range from intimate seating to the huge Stemmons Auditorium with seating for 1,000. There are even 2 full-scale cinema-style theaters for company presentations. In addition, there are 8 boardrooms and a variety of 58 other meeting rooms to satisfy special group requirements. Extraordinary facilities permit extraordinary functions. Both of the Lowe's Anatole's atria, for example, are available for major affairs, including theme parties, bounded only by the imagination. Also, the hotel's 7-acre park provides the perfect setting for an outdoor event for up to 8,000 guests. No other convention hotel in this part of America offers such a high level of accommodations. 2 atrium high-rises and a 27-story tower house 1,620 guest rooms and 145 suites. All guest rooms offer comfortable surroundings and are approximately 450 square feet in size. Each room features a work desk, remote control TV, a mini refrigerator stocked with snacks and drinks, and a personal safe. After the business day expands the mind, guests can relax at the Lowe's Anatole's $12 million world-class health and fitness center. The Veranda Club resembles a gracious mansion, and this 82,000 square foot facility is one of the largest and most sophisticated in the United States. The Veranda Club features its own corporate class conference center, offering more than 2,200 square feet of meeting space. One of the most exciting arrays of restaurants and unique shops in Greater Dallas is offered right here at the Lowe's Anatole. A world of choice awaits in this contemporary village. No matter how large or diverse the group, Lowe's Anatole will satisfy every member, every mood, every moment. The Lowe's Anatole in every respect, is truly unmatched in its class. In 1992-93, almost 3 million people attended over 2,500 conventions, ranking Dallas second in the nation in the number of convention and meeting attendees. Imagine business and pleasure united in an exciting new way, right in the heart of Dallas. The DoubleTree Hotel at Campbell Center is the place for big business, small pleasures, and legendary Texas fun. Your group will get the best of both worlds from a hotel that offers so much more. The DoubleTree Hotel at Campbell Center is a shimmering high-rise in the heart of the sophisticated North Dallas Commercial Center. And it's just minutes away from downtown, with convenient access to all major freeways, Love Field, and DFW International Airport. With approximately 14,000 square feet of meeting space, the DoubleTree at Campbell Center offers variety and flexibility so that every meeting can be a successful meeting. The DoubleTree Ballroom offers 6,800 square feet and is capable of seating 500 guests in banquet or classroom configuration. 800 people can be accommodated theater style or for a standing reception. The DoubleTree Ballroom may also be divided into several different rooms of various size and configuration. 6 other meeting and banquet rooms are also available. 4 of the rooms are located at the top of this 21-story high-rise, providing inspiring views of the North Dallas skyline, along with the best of meeting facilities. 2 private dining rooms are also available for more intimate gatherings. The 21-story DoubleTree Hotel houses 302 guest rooms, including 19 executive suites. Every room offers spacious, deluxe accommodations with the perfect amenities for comfort and relaxation. The DoubleTree at Campbell Center offers an exercise room for working off the day's tensions. Then you can relax in one of 4 sparkling whirlpool spas. Or practice your favorite game on a putting green, sports court, shuffleboard court, or tennis court. Later, you may enjoy a shopping trip right across the street at the famous North Park Mall. The hotel is adjacent to Greenville Avenue, the original restaurant row of Dallas. So there's always something fun to do when you choose the DoubleTree Hotel at Campbell Center. For lunch, there's a soup and salad bar and a luncheon buffet that changes daily. Or enjoy thick, juicy steaks and fresh seafood prepared to order at the Princeton Grill and Cafe. Complement your dinner with a selection from our wine list. The lobby bar is always the ideal spot to meet new friends and celebrate the day's little victories and enjoy live entertainment. Imagine business and pleasure united in an exciting new way, right in the heart of Dallas. But don't just imagine. Come experience the newly renovated DoubleTree Hotel at Campbell Center. Dallas has been named one of the top 5 best host cities in a survey conducted by the International Association of Exposition Managers. Hyatt Regency Dallas, the hub of Dallas business activity. Located in the downtown historic West End district, the hotel is only 2 blocks from the Dallas Convention Center. The Hyatt Regency sits in the core of the Reunion Complex, adjacent to the famed Reunion Arena, which hosts many major sporting and entertainment events. Just steps away from the Hyatt Regency's lobby is Union Station, a restored, turn-of-the-century railroad terminal that features meeting and ballroom space managed by the hotel. Standing beside the hotel and part of the stylish Hyatt Regency complex, the Reunion Tower serves as a city symbol that's known around the globe. The Hyatt will make your event as much of a landmark for your group as Reunion Tower is for Dallas. The Hyatt Regency Dallas offers 30,000 square feet of exhibit space and more than 46,000 square feet of flexible meeting space. On the atrium level, you'll find 19 beautifully appointed meeting rooms and boardrooms to choose from. Conveniently located at lobby level, the Hyatt Regency features 2 pre-function areas and 3 ballrooms. Reunion Ballroom is the largest of the 3 and is capable of accommodating 2,000 people for banquets or 3,000 for receptions. Elegant and impressive, the Regency Ballroom offers 4,800 square feet and provides banquet space for 400 guests and reception space for 600. Or there's the Cascade Ballroom for a slightly smaller event. The Cascade Ballroom will seat 250 people for banquets or 500 for receptions. All of the ballrooms and some of the meeting rooms are available in sections for smaller attendance. Easily accessible and just one level below the lobby is the Colonnade Meeting and Exhibition Hall. This multi-use facility provides 30,000 square feet of exhibit space, or can be broken down into 8 rooms of varying sizes. These rooms can accommodate groups of 10 to 1,100 for meetings or banquets. In addition to the meeting space located within the hotel, there are 5 more conference rooms in Union Station for smaller, more intimate gatherings. The 1914 vintage train station and the Hyatt Regency are connected by an underground concourse. Union Station's antique grandeur is in distinct contrast to the Hyatt's soaring glass and steel design. Yet the Hyatt touch is very evident in the quality of the facilities and service. The Grand Hall, Pullman, Station Master, Press Club, and Dealey meeting rooms can accommodate groups from 10 to 1,000. Luxury is the signature of Hyatt Regency Dallas. Each of the 933 elegantly decorated guest rooms and suites provide all the comforts anyone could wish for, as well as a stunning view of the city. As an additional amenity to guests, the Hyatt Business Center offers full-service office copying, telex, fax, typing, messenger service, and equipment rental on a 24-hour basis. When the business day is over, relax at the Hyatt Regency Health Club. Refresh the body and the spirit with bubbling whirlpools, soothing saunas, and the latest exercise equipment. Lighted tennis and basketball courts, a jogging track, and an outdoor pool with jacuzzi are also offered at the Health Club. This breathtaking 18-story atrium is the focal point of activity in the Hyatt Regency Dallas. Glass-enclosed elevators offer a spectacular view while ascending 28 floors to the guest rooms. Specializing in Italian dishes, Fausto's Oven features an open-air kitchen and wood-burning pizza oven. A charming 3-meal sidewalk cafe, the Cafe Esplanade, features Southwest cuisine, steaks, fajitas, and an excellent salad bar. Catch the elevator for a 50-story ride up Dallas' most recognized structure. High atop Union Tower is the elegant Antares restaurant and additional meeting space, featuring a revolving view of the Dallas skyline. The Hyatt Regency Dallas makes doing business a real pleasure, offering premier business facilities and outstanding hospitality that gives a Texas accent to the Hyatt touch. Dallas is the 8th largest city in the United States and is the nation's largest inland city. Accented by ornamental ironwork on the outside and Louis XIV tapestries on the inside, the stately elegance of 19th century Europe is reborn in Dallas, Texas. Hotel Crescent Court's luxurious residential style accommodations, sumptuous dining, and world-class spa all converge in a spirit of style and sophistication. Hailed for its dramatic architecture, this 10.5-acre towering limestone complex is nestled in a charming environment just on the edge of the Dallas Central Arts District. The Hotel Crescent Court, was literally built for business. It incorporates all the prerequisites for successful executive meetings, conferences, and banquets. Located just off the Great Hall is the very elegant Crescent Ballroom. Designed with a strong French influence, the ballroom comfortably seats 240 guests banquet style, 300 theater style, or 350 for receptions. For smaller gatherings, the Crescent Ballroom may be divided into separate salons. Other banquet and meeting rooms on the main floor of the hotel can accommodate 10 to 80 guests. The executive boardroom, also located on the main floor, features conference-style seating with audio, visual, and telecommunication systems available. In addition to the executive boardroom, Hotel Crescent Court offers 6 executive conference rooms on the second level, perfect for meetings, business lunches, or dinners. These individually styled rooms range in capacity from 8 to 14 persons. Located on the second level of the shops and galleries at the Crescent, overlooking a courtyard rimmed with ornate ironwork, is a multi-purpose conference facility. Gallery 1 and 2 features 3,400 square feet and can be divided in half by a soundproof air wall. The pre-function area consists of 850 square feet for registration, breakouts, or other gatherings. The warm residential comfort of Hotel Crescent Court is most evident in the 188 guest rooms and 28 suites, where guests are treated as if in a private home. Each room is beautifully furnished with many amenities, such as fresh flowers, live plants, handsome armoires, 3 telephones, and French doors opening to private balconies. After a day of meetings, what better way to unwind than in the stress-free environment of the spa at the Crescent? This oasis of health and fitness offers state-of-the-art exercise equipment, an aerobic center, quiet rooms, and relaxing whirlpools. The treatment center at the spa offers old-world European beauty practices in a modern, refreshing atmosphere, providing rejuvenating body treatments, aroma baths, and massages. Guests may also enjoy relaxing in and around the beautifully landscaped outdoor year-round heated swimming pool located on the second floor of the hotel. At the end of the day, guests may want to dine in the Beau Nash restaurant. Named for the legendary 18th century English bon vivant, Beau Nash is an American brasserie featuring cuisine of the world in a relaxed, informal setting. The wine cellar at Hotel Crescent Court is a charming, intimate, and unique alternative for small receptions and dinner parties for up to 14. Hotel Crescent Court prides itself on its classic, intimate, European-style concept. Like each one-of-a-kind Rosewood hotel, this is a place where gracious hospitality, attentive service, exciting cuisine, and a luxurious environment have become time-honored traditions. Hotel Crescent Court always welcomes each guest as a valued friend. Dallas has been named the best city for lodging in the U.S. by an annual survey of 5,000 frequent travelers. Southwest Flair, Fairmont style. Conveniently located downtown in the Dallas Arts District, the Fairmont Hotel is just minutes away from many corporate headquarters and within walking distance to Dallas's finest entertainment and cultural attractions. For the meeting planner, the Fairmont offers a wealth of options, including 70,000 square feet of versatile meeting space, 24 meeting rooms, and 2 spectacular ballrooms. From the small executive board meeting to gatherings for more than 3,300, the Fairmont provides professional staff and a complete list of amenities to make your event a dazzling success. Impressive and sophisticated, the 16,000 square foot International Ballroom and Foyer, complete with its own service kitchen, is capable of hosting lavish banquets for 1,600 people or receptions for 3,000. The 18,000 square foot Regency Ballroom can accommodate banquets of up to 1,960 people or 3,300 in reception configuration. Its 27-foot ceilings permit special video and lighting displays. The adjacent foyer can handle an additional 1,000 people for receptions. Each of the ballrooms is serviced by a 7.5-ton service elevator with direct street access for easy handling of large equipment and displays. The Venetian Room, located at the lobby level, offers an old-world charm and seats up to 600 people. Whichever conference room selected, you can be assured of a virtually soundproof room. There are no divisible walls, a quality feature unique to Fairmont meeting space. Holding a world-renowned reputation, the professional catering staff at the Fairmont is recognized for creative food presentation and high-caliber banquet cuisine. The staff is prepared to accommodate food functions of any size or theme, both on and off the property. Every visit to the Fairmont Hotel is distinguished by elegance and outstanding service. Each of the 500 deluxe rooms and 50 suites is individually decorated and furnished. Also included are dual-line telephones with private voicemail messaging systems and PC data ports. The Fairmont Hotel provides 24-hour room service, offering a complete menu. The Fairmont Hotel has an Olympic-sized swimming pool, and from the terrace, this rooftop view paints the perfect background picture for parties and receptions. The Fairmont Dallas offers several award-winning restaurants and lounges to choose from. Winner of the Travel Holiday Award for Fine Dining, the Pyramid Restaurant and Lounge is one of Dallas's finest dining spots. The Gracious Lobby Lounge is the place to see and be seen. Enjoy live piano entertainment from late afternoon into the evening. On the lobby level, the Brasserie Restaurant offers traditional American favorites, regional Southwest specialties, and freshly baked pastries 24 hours a day. Dallas's most elaborate Sunday brunch buffet occurs in the Venetian Room. The menu features made-to-order omelets, spectacular lunch entrees such as grilled salmon and rack of lamb. Relax in the sports bar's casual atmosphere. Enjoy deli-style lunches and beverages while watching sports on big-screen television, providing a cosmopolitan atmosphere that business travelers depend upon. The Fairmont Dallas is a luxury leader in accommodations and service at competitive prices. Come experience Dallas, Fairmont style. Dallas is the home of the largest urban arts district in America. Over 160 museums, galleries, and artistic attractions. More than 110 live performances a night, with more shopping centers per capita than any other U.S. city. If something can't be found in Dallas, it can't be found anywhere. With more restaurants per person than New York City, Dallas has more five-diamond AAA restaurants than any city in the world. You're never far away from exciting nightlife in Dallas. The jewel of the Southwest awaits to bedazzle you. Conducting business and having a good time is always possible in Dallas. The year is 1093 A.D. You and your group are guests of the royal family. As you wine, dine, and make merry, you will see dramatic horsemanship, dangerous swordplay, falconry, sorcery, romance, and an authentic jousting tournament. Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament offers a unique evening of quality entertainment based on the glory of the Middle Ages. The experience begins as guests cross the drawbridge in the 11th century European-style castle. Situated on 6.3 acres, the 65,000 square foot facility features the grand ceremonial arena, capable of seating 1,000 people. Fully enclosed, the climate control complex houses an elaborately decorated hall of arms, a museum of torture, and the nightclub. Following the tournament, guests are invited to the nightclub to mingle with the knights and other cast members. Medieval Times is located northwest of downtown Dallas on Stemmons Freeway. Group rates and reservations are available. Come take your part in history. Medieval Times. It's the show that's become a legend. See Dallas-Fort Worth the Yellow Rose way. Yellow Rose Touring and Special Events Company is Dallas' premier destination management company with a proven record of excellence for organizing custom design touring, transportation, and special event programs. Yellow Rose Special Events is the
Companies
only
like this can be
DMC to
very
offer all of the
helpful.
following services in-house. Custom design tours, airport transfers and shuttles, progressive dining experiences, Western Ranch tours, company-owned transportation fleet, theme parties with custom decorations and props from our events warehouse. The Texana Gift Shop carries a full line of Texas foods and gifts, floral arrangements, amenities, favors, and gift baskets. Whether your group chooses a day at the ranch or a night at the West End, Yellow Rose will create memorable experiences and exceed all of your expectations.
But you will need to budget
Yellow
for
Rose
that.
offices and the Texana Gift Shop are located at InfoMart, a central location adjacent to downtown and the convention center. The Yellow Rose Events Warehouse is located nearby for convenient access. See Dallas-Fort Worth the Yellow Rose way. Call 214-746-3780 for more information. When planning your next meeting, why not call on Avis to coordinate your car rental program? Avis wants to make your meeting a success. That's why they have a special meeting services staff dedicated to planning your car rental details. You'll be working with one of the world's largest, most experienced and respected car rental companies. Avis offers many outstanding benefits to the meeting planners. Special group rates. Over 1,100 locations, U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean. Free, customized meeting rate brochures. Complimentary cars and site inspection rates to qualifying groups. Toll-free meeting reservation number. At Avis, you'll get personalized service from people who really care and people who always try harder to make your meeting a success. The Avis Meeting Services Program also enables you to benefit from the many years of knowledge and experience that stand behind the Avis name. You and your group will enjoy special rates and first-class service from a world leader in the car rental industry. Wherever you go, you can be sure Avis is close by with a We Try Harder service that's made them famous. To get personalized assistance for your next meeting, call the Avis Meeting Services Information Desk toll-free at 1-800-525-7537. Avis, the one meeting detail that's easy to plan. A little bit of television history and a lot of Texas hospitality. The most famous White House west of D.C. is now available for parties and special events. Internationally famous South Fork Ranch, the Rolls-Royce of ranches, provides the perfect backdrop for group events. Whether your guests want to tour the ranch made famous by the Ewings, or you need a facility to throw a Texas-sized party, South Fork is the place. Located just north of Dallas, the sprawling ranch features 63,000 square feet of event and meeting space and 40 acres of sprawling lawn for a variety of special events and extended uses. From the 27,000 square foot Oil Barons Ballroom, complete with stage and dance floor, to a more intimate Bobby's Boardroom, there's a facility with just the right setting. A full-service event planning and catering staff is on hand to add that special Dallas flair. For groups of any size, South Fork offers theme party concepts customized to your budget and numbers. A theme party provides all the dazzle and elegance you would expect if you were JR's own guest. Groups can be entertained by cocktail hour in the beautiful Ewing Mansion, followed by dinner in the Oil Barons Ballroom, or thrilled by a true Texas rodeo in South Fork's world-class arena. Let South Fork make your next event a true Dallas production. Dallas, Texas, where America meets. Thanks for being with us for this issue of our video magazine. We invite you to join us in upcoming issues for other destinations. Where America Meets, the video magazine specifically designed for the meeting planner.
Well, after that, is everybody hungry? Ready to let the Fairmont feed me? Are you ready to travel? So, well, was that appealing to you as a potential meeting manager? Okay.
Yes and no. I think I like the Houston presentation better because you had a live person you were relating to. This guy is a professional lip. Anything he says, you've probably heard it on somebody else's commercial or somebody else's videotape. Secondly, as a meeting manager, what am I planning? He's given me a lot of possibilities. You look at the Lowe's and the Crescent Court, that's personal touch. If you're trying to raise money for political campaign, that's where you want to go. Mm-hmm. You don't have to serve much food, serve lots of booze, and have a little auction, and you'll raise $2-3 million. Now, if you've got a bunch of people that are like Radio Shack convention managers that are on a budget, and you got to go somewhere else.
Okay.
And I don't see that there.
Okay.
The higher Regency may encompass some of that, but still it's not enough. This is a little upper scale.
Okay, yeah, these are your upper scale hotels, but they're the ones with the budgets to chip in and pay for a tape like this. And obviously, you know, the parties participating are the ones that have paid AV to put the tape together, and the Convention Bureau, I don't know for sure who paid for which part, but there's that commercial element to it. Mm-hmm.
I'd also hate to think that I have 1,000 people running around in Avis cars and we all have flights to catch the very next day. I mean, the practical solution is everybody takes cabs. They should have accentuated their public transportation as being reliable, clean, and trustworthy. You got 1,000 people that could be coming from anywhere in the United States that are bound to be lost, going to get lost, can't get to the hotel, could become victims of crime.
Oh, now, I rented a car in Boston the first time I went, and I had to study. No, I did great. I sat there and studied the map for about 10 minutes before I pulled out of the parking lot. You know, the lady said, "Do you know where you're going?" I said, "I think so." And she said, "Which way are you going to turn when you leave here?" And I told her, and she said, "Yep, that'll take you through the tunnel." Okay, go for it. You know, I got off on Cherry Hill a little sooner than I thought to because I couldn't make a left turn off of Massachusetts Avenue and some things like that. But there are people who can rent cars and do well. I don't think the intent of this was to say that everybody who attends your convention will rent a car to get where they're going. Very often there are people who fly, who take the traditional ground transportation to the hotel. There's that segment. Many of the hotels have the rental car agencies in the hotel so that once you're there, if you decide you need a car for a day, you can go out. Or the meeting planners will adjust the schedule, book the convention rates for a couple of days before and after the convention itself. So that, well, I know when I was in San Francisco, they did that. And then if you wanted to rent the car and, you know, go out and tour the vineyards or something, or just drive wherever in California, you might use an extra day or two to do that, either before or after the convention. The advantage, and they touched on some of this in the tape, the advantage to booking with a particular agency, and I don't recommend one over another, look at what they're willing to do for your group. But they frequently will give discounts, they'll give the toll-free number, they may provide coupons in everybody's registration package that says $20 off on the weekend, good for the whole month or whatever. So you can make some adjustments like that. Okay, now I was going to ask you, with these big fancy properties that you just saw, can you only use a hotel like that if you have a huge group? I mean, they were talking big numbers to you. What if you have a small group? Any way to connect on that? Okay.
Depends on what the focus is. Are you trying to accomplish something or are you trying to sell something? If people are going to meet, they have to meet for a purpose. What's the purpose of your meeting?
Okay, and we've talked some about that before you joined us. In fact, we talked last time about board meetings and conventions and annual sessions and so on. And right, you need to know why your group is meeting, what group they are. But regardless of why they're meeting, if they've determined that they need a convention or an annual session or a winter board meeting or a summer board meeting or whatever it might be, they've determined that they need to meet. You want to match the property to your group. Obviously, the larger the group is, the more you have to pay attention to those sizes of space, room accommodations, this sort of thing. But there are times when you can take a smaller convention, depending on the floor plan and accommodations of the hotel, and tuck it in to a larger group. There was one Hyatt one year that a convention of about 150, of which I was a part, met in a section, this was in Indianapolis. They have a little group of 3 rooms called the Mountain Suites, and they're tucked away on the side, away from the elevators, the ballrooms. There was a Tupperware convention of about 2,500 people going on, and except to connect with them in the elevators, you know, we forgot about them because we were pulled away to the side and did our own thing. Now that worked well. There was a hotel in St. Louis, though, that will go unnamed because because I don't want to be sued, different chain, that booked space and put, I was with a group, Professional Fraternity Association, that had a keynote speaker that was a renowned musician who was receiving a Career Achievement Award. You know, this was a banquet with well-dressed people acting with decorum, trying to hear a most eminent speaker discuss briefly his career. And they gave us 1/3 of the ballroom, and the other 2/3 of the ballroom, the same hotel booked a Catholic youth rally with band. They sent letters of apology to us later, but that did not take care of the problem. So it's important to think about those logistical kinds of things. If you're not meeting in a tiny, or not tiny, but in a small hotel that directly meets the needs of your group size-wise, you know, and it's the job, you know, you could get angry with the hotel, but it's their job to sell space and book rooms. They make money the fuller to capacity they are.
The best thing that you can do to the Ys is to double check, triple check, quadruple check the credentials of the person on the other end. You've taken care of your end. You've carefully planned this trip. You've carefully planned the event. And if they've got somebody sitting on the other end that's their convention director or their coordinator, and he doesn't know what he's doing, no one's going to look to him. They're going to look to you.
Right. But generally, you make an assumption when you have a major hotel chain that they are all quite, right. There are also some of the chains that have independent properties. One I'm aware of is Sheraton. Some of the Sheratons are operated on a national network, you know, Hyatt's, Hilton's, the Adams Mark. There are fewer of those, but they're all nationally coordinated, maintained. But Sheraton's, and there's some others, but I'm not recalling names for sure at this point, get independent franchises. The Astrodome Sheraton here, so that's what they're calling it these days. Used to be Astro Village. Yeah, that one is the last I heard was an independent property. And anytime you've got an independent property, you've got to check more. It may be more wonderful, or it may be more terrible. And when we talk about Scottsdale, Arizona, just because that's a prime hotel, property, resort, vacation, convention spot, we'll see the contrast out there between major chains and some independent properties. We'll be looking at resort properties there too, which are a different kind of facility from what you see here as downtown and quasi-suburban properties. We'll also distinguish between what you saw today are classified as vertical properties. You take elevators, you know, and you go up and down vertically in that property. When you are at a resort, you are on a horizontal property. Okay, it's spread out, And there are wonderful advantages to that in usually they're in fantastic locations with great weather and so forth. But if it pours down rain, what are you going, you know, or, although I attended one in Innisbrook, Florida, which is outside of Tampa near Clearwater, and they have shuttle buses that run every 10 minutes, lots of shuttle buses, not like the ones at U of H where you have to wait 20 minutes to catch one. Theirs are on time. They are equipped with I don't know how many hundred giant umbrellas because it rains in Florida a lot. You know, and they're just ready for that. And so it's no big deal. You know, they haul out the umbrellas and those shuttle buses are running, and that's a horizontal property that functions very efficiently and very smoothly. You have an opportunity to crash a convention if you wish. It'd be nice if you wanted to pay dues. But the Texas Speech Convention is here at the downtown Hyatt, October 5, 6, 7. And those of you that are communication majors may want to actually register and participate in some of the programming. But it's also an opportunity for you to, you know, just kind of swing through for a couple of hours and see how things are flowing, watch the traffic management, look at how the rooms are set up, that sort of thing. You might also, if you're on campus, go through the Continuing Ed Center over at the Hilton Hotel, look at the ballrooms over there. We talked last time about conference centers as being one type of property that usually is smaller, handles a smaller group with more of a business or educational function, less of a social function. But we've got one such site on this campus. Much of it has been renovated. There's a new wing compared to the original wing. You know, it's a very pleasant looking place, some good eating facilities over there. But as you go through the meeting rooms upstairs, look at how those rooms are arranged. Some are conference style, some are set up classroom style, some have fixed feature space, nice cushy chairs that kind of swing around, but you know, you can't move them. Others have semi-fixed space with movable furniture and lecterns, so forth. Some are inside rooms with no windows, much more of a business-like atmosphere. Others have walls of glass that open out to the park area with the trees, and so you get that nice lush greenery effect too. Why would you want, well, would you need to make a site inspection after seeing a tape like the one that you just heard? Okay, why would you go on site? Let me get somebody different here if I can. You're shaking your heads, yes. Yes, in the back.
Just because of renovations, I mean, you don't know when this tape was made. Things could change,
Good.
could be a new owner, new management. I mean, I want to see what I'm going to get, what I'm going to end up with. It's very important to me, and if this is an annual event, I'm going to make sure I'm going to look at it before I pay for it, especially for the deposit.
Great, yeah, that's it. And most hotels are very accommodating to you if you can establish with paperwork, you know, a letter from a president or your company or whatever that identifies you as a bona fide meeting planner. And sorry, just being a student out of this class, I don't think we'll do it. But as space is available, they will often let you come in for a night complimentary. Being on local arrangements for a convention is often a very fun thing to do if you have time. You know, a friend of mine in San Francisco got about 5 comp nights at different hotels, checking out that property, you know, to see how those sheets are and whether or not there's candy on the bed when they turn them down at night and what's the food service like and all of those kinds of things. But you need to be a legitimate planner. It's usually the treasurer and or the president or the executive director, that sort of person with the organization. You know, the people who are likely to sign the contract with the hotel, the official meeting planners, legitimately may obtain those kinds of services and opportunities. And if you have the time to do that, that's a fun kind of thing to do. But I know one group that I worked with we had a meeting booked in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and a hurricane hit it the spring that we were, let's see, we did site inspections in January and held the board meeting there. And the place that we had hoped to go received enough hurricane damage that we had to change locations because the renovation wasn't through. They let us out of the contract because they couldn't accommodate the group. But the board had to decide by telephone in absentia on a different location. And we had not inspected the other hotel. So what we had, were brochures, information not as good as what you saw in the video today, but those nice little trifolds that show you the pictures and things. And the camera kind of plays tricks sometimes. Now, once you get clued into that, then you can do better. But this was a 10-story hotel, but they shot it from a really low angle so it looked bigger than it was. Then they waited until low tide and walked as far out in the water, I'm convinced, as safety permitted, and took a photograph that got as much beach as possible. So it looked like it was an okay hotel. We had a pleasant meeting there, but the brochure was old, and so the color, the paint, the decor was not quite as crisp and wonderful as it appeared on paper. At high tide, there was no beach. There's a big shift in the tide there. And Miami is like that. The shelf drops off pretty rapidly there and the water's either in or out. And when that tide came in, it came right up to where all those chairs on the brochure were at low tide. You could go wading, but it was not quite they were right. At low tide, there was plenty of beach out there. But then you have to check the tide schedules because they're not the same each day. And how does that impact with your meeting schedule? So, were you going to make a comment?
Yeah, we used to have a place, we had a resort, it was a freshly built resort, but I don't know how they were getting away with this, but they were selling these packages to honeymooners at a place called the Golden Beach. I don't think they ever washed the windows at the Golden Beach. It had air conditioning boxed units, the good old kind, and if that worked, you were lucky. A candy machine in the lobby, which was absent from the brochure. I mean, people would come over carrying their bags, entirely too aggravated. We were only too happy to take the travel agent's coupon away from them because that was money in the bank. And sometimes if they were honeymooners, we'd give them our better room at the same coupon rate because our rationale was a honeymooner always told 10 people who told 10 people more who told 10 people more, and it would triple our business.
Right.
But the Golden Beach was the best business that ever happened to us. The place was a rat hole.
Oh, okay. Well, think about places you've been, pros and cons of those spots, and how what you've learned today can impact on the meetings you plan, and we'll continue next time.